video. Look at that. Look at that. My settings are messed up. Gee, surprise. Thank you, Dewey, for letting me know. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. Feel like I'm repeating myself because I am. How is everybody? It's been a whole 2 days since the show. I've been busy. I built myself a little tiny decorative bridge. I still need to put the floor on it. And I built my son a dark cabinet. Still need to put a roof on it. What's today? Today's not Monday. Today's Wednesday. Okay. Friday, the seals for my pressure washer come in, and I can work on that. I've just been trying to stay busy. All right. What do we have going on in the chat? We've got Malevolent Rider. Although the Angry Amish Hitman was first. Cool. First come. First one to be here. What are we all here for? Oh, look at that. Here comes Data. Just trotting in. Hello. Hello there. And Zach Lomby. Welcome to the chat, Zach Lomby. How are you doing? Nice to see you. It is still the beginning of the show. I'm going to try and click in the background. I am working on building something for my desk soon, although I'm running out of materials to build with because I've been quite creative. But over here on my side, I have this wonderful thing. Wait, maybe. There it is. Hopefully. I have this game board.
Welcome to the Great Debate.
Yay! Alright, everybody. We have somebody new in the chat, and it's the beginning of a show, so I'm gonna do this. Welcome to the Great Debate. This is a game show where we look at the perspective and the thought behind why you think things are the way they are. There's behind these 18 topics, under the 3 categories, there is a question or a statement for each. And we'll talk about or discuss or throw in whatever you want about that item until around the time the timer goes off, if all goes well. So, with that being said, I believe the first thing we're supposed to do is, on a day like today, wait, what are we supposed to do? I forget. No, we're supposed to ask the chat. The chat picks the topics because I don't have a guest today. I'm gonna have to get better at that. Thank you, Hitman. Hit that like button if you like it. I usually say it on the way out, but it works anytime, I suppose. Wow, YouTube, you're reading things wrong. 1, 2. Where's my other bot? Why is there a bot missing? What is going on? Oh no, there it is. 1, 2. Okay. I think things are working. I still think it's broken. Looking back at the chat, what are we going to talk about today? Timer. I'm the timekeeper. No guest. Timekeeper. Yeah, hop on top of that, Ryder. But we haven't selected anything to talk about yet. Am I missing something? I was here first, but didn't say anything. Oh, poor thing. Nipple clamps. Wait. Which ones are nipple clamps? Why do you like renaming my categories, Data? I'm okay with high heels. I don't know which one nipple clamps are. Creator tips. Let's talk about your wife. Maybe on another show. Not tonight. What are we doing, guys? How is everybody? Apparently there's all sorts of shit going on I haven't talked about yet. There's AT&T buying Time Warner. I'm assuming it's entertainment, because didn't Time Warner sell the internet to something? Fuzzy Navels. I don't like peaches. Not fake peach flavor. I'm not fond of fuzzy nibbles. I can eat a real peach, not the canned ones. Well, then again, the canned ones aren't too bad. I'm not fond of canned ones though. I like fresh peaches. Peaches come from a can. They were put there by a man. All hail blue whale, says the wild fox. One of these days, myself will get in contact with the blue whale and figure out what terms we need to have, because I'm not undead, I'm dead. So does the whale have a problem with me? If not, I'm gonna raise my armies in the background, and we just won't bother anybody if nobody bothers us. We'll just keep the fires lit. Hey everybody, we are still waiting for the first of whatever topics we're gonna do. Apparently, Trump is talking to foreign leaders again. Hey, we're going to talk about sex as the Amish hitman, and I need to change that sound effect. I'm starting to not like that. Should people be open to having different types of sex from that which they are accustomed to? I don't know. I think the chat needs to answer this. If you like... Ooh, let's bring up some terms people might not know. Does anybody know what PIV sex is? Huh? Do you know what it is? Anybody? It'd be interesting to know. But if you like PIV sex, maybe you should try anal sex. Maybe you should try P's in the V. That's right. That's kind of what it is. Zach Longby, PIV is penis and vagina sex. It sounds stupid to say it like that. It also sounds funny to say it like that because, well, isn't that what sex is? And sodomy would be everything else, apparently, according to the definition of sodomy. So, should people be open to having different types of sex than they're accustomed to? Should people be open to having anal sex if they don't want anal sex? Well, why does it come to the point where most women, I mean, pardon me, but I've tried it. It's not too bad. It's not a regular thing. But why does it come that most women are almost like, yeah, I'd like to try anal sex, and you're going to open your ass up so I can get in there? Free birth control, says Wild Fox. It's an interesting concept. It's just, we can talk about what the ass will do to, or what will do to you by using your ass. I don't know how to discuss all this. But should you try it? Should you be open to trying it? I don't know. Maybe not. Nightbot says no. A Wild Fox appears. Wash your ass. I thought it was wash your penis. I don't know. I'm in the wrong stream if it's wash your penis. Wash your ass. I'm gonna slap you with a bone. Nothing wrong with it when you wash it. Douche. Are you calling me a douche? I'm gonna have to add that to Nightbot's repertoire. To open the ass up, do you need a donkey? A donkey? Do you need a donkey? I lost my train of thought. Shit, it's gone. Pun intended. I think the thumbnail needs to be a drink. He's all over the place. I haven't had a drink. Oh, I think NumbedSkull needs a drink. He's all over the place. It doesn't matter if I drink or not. I'm still all over the place. We can have somewhat of a fun topic. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. You guys can type as fast as you want. Should people be open to it? Maybe. Just because you think someone should be open to it doesn't mean that you meeting somebody new, they're necessarily going to be open to it with you, because they may have had a bad experience with someone different. Then again, each person's going to have a different experience with a different person depending on how they're treated. So there's that. Should you do it against their will? Hey, listen, I want to do this. You don't like it. So let me tie you up. I'll do what I want. I'll gag you. And when we're done, I'll untie you and I'll console you. And I'll get you a bowl of ice cream. Strawberries. Something. Should that be allowed? Maybe not. That's ass rape, isn't it? Tie you to the table, put an apple in your mouth. Wait, that's been done in the movie. Damn, I can't go in a good direction with this one. Just slip it in. Wait, slip it out accidentally, then she screams, wrong hole, wrong hole. Wait, women do that. They do. Because accidents happen. They shouldn't sit on ice cream. It's unsanitary. Okay, speaking of sitting on, by the way, for all those who wish to know something interesting, did you know if you drink an alcohol up your ass, it will get you drunk faster than drinking it? Interesting. There are, and I'm sure Data knows all about this, there's channels that might not exist anymore on how to get the best alcohol content or how to drink properly. And I'm sorry, I just... something about drinking a beer doesn't make me want to pop the top, stick it in my asshole, put my head on the ground and my ass in the air, and drink a beer till it's empty. How do you do that? And then, like, 20 minutes later, after you're drunk, off your ass or on your ass or in your ass? After you're drunk, using your ass, you, sit back down on the toilet, excrete it all. Hey dudes, I'm ready for another. Here we go. What? How is that your lifestyle? Well, you can still snack, I suppose, if you're willing to... I don't know. That'll mess you up. That'll mess you up. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. Time's not up. Time's up. Enough with the ass talk. Girl, shake that ass. Let me see what you got. Not from a vape. But wait, I'm lost. Vaping from the drinking now too. Ooh, there's an idea. If you want to hurt yourself and get drunk, you know, the tissues in your eye and the muscles in your eye are the same as the ones in your rectum. So I suppose you used an eyedropper and dropped alcohol in your eye, that it would get you drunk, but it would probably hurt a lot. Don't try that at home, kids. Don't. Yes, time is up. Politics from the Angry Amish Hitman. Did you pick the first one? Are you picking multiples in a row? I don't know if we can, I don't know. Anybody else got something? We'll do politics if nobody else comes up with something, because I'm pretty sure he picked the last one, but I can't see that far back. A wild fox appears and picks fuck the world. Games that simulate decimation of the world are fun because the player doesn't include themselves. Ooh. Good job, Ryder. Appreciate it. Here's a thought. I was playing them a while ago, and I kind of got bored with it. When you win all the games and, you know, there's no new scenarios, you get kind of bored with the game. Oh well. We've all played that virus game or the infection game or contagion game, whatever it's called, where we're trying to kill the entire planet with this virus or whatever it is we have. Now, is the virus airborne or bloodborne, or what type of pathogen is it? Blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm sure we've all played a game like this. And your goal is to decimate the population of the world. Yes, this is Sociopath Week with your host, the NumbedSkull. This week, we're going to be going in depth into the discussion on how to destroy the largest number of people on the planet quickly and efficiently. And we're going to decide whether it's right or wrong, removing the characteristics of their wealth, income, and placement in society. Congratulations, you're all gonna die. If you live, even better for you, make something. Hey, back to the show. Where was I? Okay. When you play the games, you're playing the game to defeat it, to reach the end, to kill the most people you can, which is interesting. And it forms a premise that you want to complete. Now, inherently in all of us, I think, and I just tap into it sometimes, there's a sociopathic thread that runs through us that says other people should die. Those around us aren't worthy of... What? Okay. Dang, that's not my timer. I don't know what's going on. I don't even think that was my computer. Those around us are not worth our time, and therefore they should all be dead. Or those around us are in our way. Or there's people, for some of us, some, not me, too much money. Let's kill the richest and the poorest and let the people in the middle fight it out. Let's kill the religious. Let's kill somebody, and we'll try to even out the playing field somewhere, or remove this thought or agenda or something. Let's kill all the white people because black people are gods, and we got melanin in our skin. We're like plants. We can absorb the sunlight just in the right temperature. I'm not racist. I'm just joking. Oops. Everybody get a turn. Reminds me of the black and white, except me, because I'm going to keep the constant flow. Gotta keep the flow. I'm going to decimate that ass. That always sounds fun, but I know you're talking to me, and if I were, I would probably be a top, I think. Maybe once in a while I will pick. Good job, Ryder. Okay. What's the name of the game? What's the one game called? I don't know. It's called like Virus or Infection. What was the ding? I think the ding was an email. I have two devices. Each has 3 emails. This device has 265 unread emails. I should probably read my emails. Hello! Pocket penis. I was just shown that data, so if you are talking about what I'm talking about, please do not pour lube on your money because you left it in your pocket penis. Thank you. Have a nice day. You're probably talking about that same video, aren't you, data? Tickle polls, poll ticks. Something politics. Okay, politics is next. Sure. I think we all inherently have a sociopathic threat in us that makes us want to kill other people that are in our way. It's society and what we have developed around us, the rules and the laws that most people are aware of, that result in someone going, well, that's not right, and I realize it's not right, so I'll try not to think about that too often. And then you got those who the sociopathic thread is like a bulging vein in front of their eyes, and they're gonna shoot up their school. We should see that coming. Maybe. Probably. We'll work on that in another chapter. When people play the game to decimate the planet, the one thing they're failing to take into account when you think about these large-scale decimations is somewhere in there you're going to be one of those. And one of the things I jokingly like to say is that, yeah, if a large percentage of the population died and I just happened to be one of them, cool. But if I'm one of the ones that live, that would be awesome. Welcome, Death Hadouken, to the chat. Where would we find ourselves if we started to take into account on playing games where we fall? Or how could we help those sociopaths who still think that inherently no other life matters because of it being a game? I don't know. It gets a little cloudy. What do we got in the chat? I invited Death. Hi, Logan. What else do we got? I thought Psycho Fire. Fuck the world. F the world. Absolutely. That's why you're supposed to decimate the entire population when you play the game. Life's not a game. Sure it is. You gotta play by the rules. I thought FTW was for the win. Well, that's interesting, because it's whatever you want it to be. It works. For the win, fuck the world. However you would like to translate that acronym. It's all up to you. But I think we're done with that one, aren't we, Ryder? That's what I thought. The bot will get back at... No. Are you learning how to circumvent my bot? Did you circumvent my bot, Ryder? I'm gonna fix that. You know I'm gonna fix that when I think about it. We gotta do something next. What's next? Curious fuzzy time. Curiously fuzzy this time. Am I fuzzy? Is my audio fuzzy? Are you fuzzy? Welcome to the chat, Director Arcater. And not your witness. Welcome to the chat. Decimation is destruction of the tenth. Of a tenth? Is that correct? I'm not sure. Decimation is destruction of a tenth? I'm not sure. To decimate a population is to kill a large percentage of it. I was under the impression. Hold on. Where's... Hey Siri, what does decimation mean?
Destitution means.
What does decimation mean? No.
Okay,
No.
I found...
What does decimation mean? There you go.
The killing or destruction of a large proportion of a group or species. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
No. Thank you, Siri. Shut up now. Go away. Okay. Decimation is to destroy a large percentage of that population. We need another topic. You said time's up. Not time's up. You said, that's what you did. Now the bot's gonna get you. Okay, politics was next, says Malevolent Rider, because Data said politics. We haven't done politics in a while. That's interesting. I needed to sit back because my mic's set up to relax. Is there a sensible way to get politicians to do as the voters would like? I dare anybody to argue with me on this, but I say no. There is no sensible way to get politicians to do what voters would like. In order to get politicians to do the will of the majority of the people, you have to get the majority of the people to go vote and then tally up those votes for all of the little circumstances. And that is inherently why we elect officials, to make those choices for us. So when we elect those officials, we get 50 to 70% of the voter population that gets to the polls. And of those 50 to 70%, we vote, or we count their votes and describe in a percentage who gets the highest vote. And then depending on if it has to go through the Electoral College, those get reassigned to votes based on percentages and demographic areas and so on and so forth. Is there a sensible way? A lot of people write or call into their political office and say, listen, I do agree with this and I don't agree with this. But oftentimes, the loudest voices are those with the smallest voice in the fight, and they're trying to be loud to make up for that. So, does that necessarily work? Because you could have a majority of the people in that area that want one thing, but the ones who call and complain and want something are the ones pushing for the opposite side. So, how could we do this? It's more about how much money you can put in your pocket to do what we want. Wow, I'm so glad we have a representative voting here. Not your witness, you are in Australia, if I remember correctly. I'm not very familiar with that, so if you could minorly briefly in the chat, maybe I'll catch it. Replace politicians with robots. Really, if there's any career we should be in a hurry to eliminate via automation, there's a solid casing for making it politicians. I have an odd question for you. Tossing this in there. We live in an odd technological data age, hot data. And when we go do voting, we still go vote at polls. And the dilemma comes in, we're all assigned a serial number, an identification number, shortly after we're born or after we're legalized in America. And that 9-digit number works for so many things. Why do you have to have, well, I can kind of sort of understand valid picture ID, but if you really want to get into identification, why don't we actually use our government identification number? And you can vote with that. Now, maybe Data can correct me here or somebody in the chat, but isn't that also how companies get to put a vote in, is they use their EIN number, which is basically a corporate version of a social security number. Now, if we can vote with our social security number, and we all know the IRS assign, you can get on the IRS and get a PIN number set up on the IRS, you better never fucking lose it. I think I wrote mine down. I should know what it is. You get a PIN number, and you can log in and vote on things with your PIN number. We live in an age where people could sit there and vote every day, all day on the stupidest little shit on their phone, and their local representatives could get a tally on the votes. Is that equal? No. It's an idea. It's a sensible way to get the politicians information about what the voters who are paying attention to what's going on and active in what's going on. It's a way to get them involved and get accurate numbers besides, well, so many people watch this commercial and we sent this newsletter out to this district because we thought it would help. Outside platforms get no shot. Reading backwards here. That's what's wrong with the whole left-right Democratic Republican bullshit. Also makes the whole private investors thing into a political bit hard. Yeah, didn't I hear or read some? Oh, hold on. We vote as party. We vote parties, not politicians. We go by the party policy instead of person representatives. So the party leader is expected to represent the policy of the party, and if they don't, they can be ousted. Okay, so you guys vote for what you want, not who you want. And then the person's put in there to fill the place to carry out the means by which people want to see. I'm actually going to have to look into that. Maybe I'll just try to look for like a rundown video on how Australian government is run. Something interesting I've never looked at. I know nothing about politics. I know sometimes things happen that I would like to have more say in. And I don't necessarily have the time to sit down and write an email, figure out where to send it, find out whether or not they got it. It would be nice to pick up an app on my phone and have an alert that goes off that says, your local governor for the state you're in, or mayor for the town you're in, or politician for whatever reason, is going to be voting on X, Y, and Z for your area. Would you like to put in your input? And you could type in your social security number, your PIN number, and you just log through and go, I agree that medical marijuana is a good idea in New York State. I disagree that medical marijuana is a good idea in New York State. I agree that Pennsylvania should do away with the common law marriage. I believe that Maine should initiate a free needle program that involves a safe place for heroin addicts. I believe that Maryland should, not Maryland, New Jersey. I believe New Jersey should make sure all beaches are open for holidays. Stupid shit like that should be allowed by all people to vote on. And if you're allowed to just log into an application and put in your information and your say, oh wow, I wasn't paying attention, then you can impact the local vote that's happening without seriously taking a lot of time out of your day and be more involved in what's going on. Where did I leave off on the chat? The penis might... Wait. The penis mightier than the sword. You need taught wrong, you read wrong, boom, there you go. What? You were trying to make me say that. That actually sounds cool, Numbed. Welcome. Oh, wait, I said welcome to death. Hadouken! Time. Yes, Christine Lol. I hate because my sis called me. Data take over. Oh, there you go. Data take over the timer. And either a lot more people need to get involved or a lot less. And again, I think part of it is you stop getting the people that call in complaining that they're not getting their way. And you start getting people that want to be involved but don't know how to be involved. Someone take over, Dad is not here. Hey, we're back to the board. We're doing good on time. 3 topics down, 7:34 on the clock. What's the next conversation, everybody? I'm actually going to take a second from the show to remind everyone, 1, if you see a question or a comment or anything on this show you would like to talk about on your show, don't worry about asking me. Just take the question, comment, statement, run it over to your show. Maybe toss me a link so I can watch it when I get a chance. Mouth's getting dry and I'm running out of drink. I would happily love to see more debate. I try to carry on certain topics when I get a chance to talk about them. My mind dwells on things, so it's not hard. Also, those, Zach, who don't have a wrench, Death Irukin, in the chat, and would like one, not your witness, get hold of me on any of the social media platforms. Once you're a guest on the show, you get your wrench after the 200 mark. So that's my new rule to get wrenches. And it's real easy. Just come hang out with me for an hour and play the game. You get a wrench for it. That way you can spam and advertise yourself in the chat while you're on the show. And it gives you more bones with the bot. For all those who also don't know, you can gamble with the bot in the chat. It's fun. Now, here's a thought to debate over. How do you feel about the fact that felons can't vote but can run for office? Well, that's interesting because I actually do have a very strong opinion on that. Wrenches for being a guest. That's all you got to do is get hold of me, get on my show for an hour, and you get a wrench. Wild Fox. Felons cannot run for office in every state. There are several states that you cannot run for office in as a felon. However, there are papers and shit you can go through to remove that barrier in a couple of the states. Also, once you are a felon, you do get your right to vote back in certain states. Other states prohibit felons from voting. It really depends on the state you're in, and there's no straightforward national covering blanket. It's different in all states. For instance, and I have looked before, if I wanted to run for president, one of the obstacles to run for president is you have to run in all 50 states. So you have to run everywhere people are allowed to vote. If I were to do that, there would be, I think, 3 states, maybe it's 5 or 6, that I cannot apply to run in at all. And I didn't do all the calculations, but it would be very difficult without those states, without a couple of them, for you, I want to say Florida is one, and it's also a very high count state, for you to win the presidential election without enough votes. So you'd pretty much have to get most of the country, and the states that prohibited you from voting, you wouldn't be able to get any anyway. Or not voting, from prohibited you from running. But it's not all states, so it's really a whole different conversation. You weren't given that detail. Oh, you don't have to time me. It's a good conversation to have. And I, as a felon, believe felons should get their right to vote back. Now, most people who serve felony time serve time for the crime they commit within an institution, and then they serve post-release or post-institution time, which is either in your own home or a halfway house or with family or something, that puts you back on the street where they monitor you closely enough to make sure you're doing things. Nothing in the Constitution disqualifies a felon from serving in Congress. That doesn't mean he or she can't avoid serving time in prison. The conviction doesn't necessarily mean expulsion. The same thing for president, vice president. There are no laws for the country, and believe it or not, there's no laws in most states that prohibit people with criminal records from running for office, which is funny. Why should I have an easier time running for office than getting some jobs? Interesting thought. Anybody want to pick the next topic on the board, though? Because tangential topics are great, but they tend to linger. And here I am, stuttering to fill time. I don't want that dead air, so a wild fox is gonna yell out government. No, a wild fox didn't pick yet. I don't think we're gonna go with it. All right, what do we got? Why are there so many rules preventing officials from taking money from outside entities? See, we could look at the recent Florida shooting and this David Hogg issue and explain that people who work in these offices are given a lot of money, not necessarily just for themselves, but also for the party that they represent. And they're required in certain offices to spend an amount of time raising money for their party. If you want to get somewhere, you either have to have a shit ton of money, or you've got to affiliate within a party, and that means how much money can you raise for the party. And that becomes the driving point of getting into office, is not so much to do the things you wanted to do, but to spend the time trying to raise money and get money into your pocket to afford the next election, to afford the next run. People make a career out of this because it takes a lot of knowledge and experience to be able to get good at it in some cases. The reason there are, and I think I saw it in here, the reason there are so that they can't be bribed. Done. Zach, that's very interesting. What would a bribe really be? Because anything they take had to be public, so we already knew what money they were getting. Isn't a bribe an under-the-table payment to complete an action or pass a legislation or overlook something? How are they receiving a bribe when the money that's collected is usually all, maybe not necessarily above board, but accounted for and monitored? Welcome, TCA. What happened as they started restricting the flow of money directly to the people running for office is you started seeing things like non-financial rewards, like non-monetary rewards that had financial value. you would start to see expensive dinners at restaurants for a couple of $1,000 or tickets to a game. You see this kind of handoff of something that had a high value that wasn't necessarily money. And I think that was more bribing than giving the money to the office or to the party. Because the money that's collected and given to the office or the party is monitored and tracked and accumulated and accounted for in most cases, or should be. It's supposed to be. So to reduce or limit what those people are going to get because some of it's under the table, you created an under the table problem that you then had to also correct. So I can't speak as to possibly what is happening for these people on the side to help. But wouldn't it have been better to just leave it all in the public eye? Okay, you're allowed to have, $100,000 a year donated to your party affiliation, but you know what? That's a great charitable donation, but your party donation is a political movement, and therefore we can tax you 5% on political movements. That goes to pay off the debt. Hey, that's probably a terrible idea in the long run. However, think about what you force when you eliminate clear, visible avenues of doing certain types of business. What do you force? Where do you push people? Hey, you can't have a 30-round magazine anymore. It's not legal for you to buy it. Oh, so I have to buy it on the black market then. Okay. So then I'm a criminal for having it. Okay, so I'm a criminal, so I have a 30-round clip. I guess I can just go use it now, right? Terrible thought process. Where am I going with this? Wait, what was the question? Why are there so many rules preventing officials from taking money from outside entities? The NRA is going to donate money to, and this goes for any organization or affiliation or however you want to label it, they're going to donate money to those who are going to see their agenda continued. And their agenda may just be not changing the way things currently are. And that is a hell of an agenda to have sometimes because, what are you doing, Zach? What? Oh, okay. That is a... distracted me. What? I lost my whole train of thought. Lost. Gone. Poof. Up. Gone. No. The smoke's still trailing. I see it. There it goes. No. It's gone. I would rather see things. Oh, it was guns. What happens when you outlaw guns and then you create criminals because... Oh, you're all right. Okay. Oh, there's a timer on the board. It's in the upper left-hand corner, Zach. Yeah. I don't think they should be receiving large amounts of money. I also don't think you should prohibit things. Because when you prohibit too many things in the wrong way, you create alternate avenues for those things to be moved. And those avenues are then going to be illegal or worse or be more contemptful in the long run. And I would rather everything be above board and see the large numbers and know what they are and understand the movement than them be below board. Would that be the right way to say that? Be below board, be under the table, and be shady operations done by the government. Things, hey dude, I've got this $50,000 yacht and all the paperwork's in your name. Here you go. That would, I don't know. But that's why there's so many rules, is because people think everything's getting abused. Yeah, I guess enough money could pay for the vote to go the wrong way. Poorly Grim Reaper came into the bank and killed every heist participant. That is... that's sad. Who was in there? one person. I don't even know who it was. Nothing in the Constitution disqualifies a felon from serving time in Congress. I read that already. See? Now I'm losing my mind. Or whatever was left of it. We have time, ladies and gentlemen, other members of the Skeletal Dead Party. Yeah, that sounds fun. We'll use that later. The sun was in my eye. Okay. Why is everything on this one screen so blurry? Is it me? I'm wearing my glasses. Are they dirty? I only wear them for the computer. They're dirty. I need to clean my glasses, guys. Next show. One more topic. One more. Una más. Por favor. Me habla un poquito español. Un mucho poquito. Me habla en inglés. Sí. Controversy. We're going to talk about some controversy. And I can't spell. Why should anybody care what is happening in the world? Wait. What is happening in the world? Oh shit, nuclear destruction. No, that was a couple months ago. Why should anyone care? Here's an interesting question. We all get on the internet and we discuss these topics over trans, non-binary, discriminatory issues. We talk about the agenda and the laws in Canada. We talk about the agenda and the laws in Britain. We talk about the agenda and the laws here in America and Australia. We're always discussing these multinational, multifaceted issues that don't necessarily even come into contact with us on our daily life, because they affect your life directly. Sometimes they don't. I don't directly interact with trans LGBTQ+. I don't directly interact with politics. I have almost nothing to do with it. I vote when I feel I have a say and enough knowledge in an election to put my voice in on the vote. If I don't know enough, I'm not going to put in an ignorant vote, if that makes sense. Why should I care what Florida man did? If I'm going to turn on the local news, why should I care California wants to split into California, Socifornia, and Los Angeles? And if something doesn't happen, we'll be a part of the EU with free speech rights. Okay. Separate that. Break it down. Go, what do we got? 40 years. Let's go back about 40 years. What did you care? 50 miles around you? Damn important. 100 miles around you? Oh, that's cool. There's a party. 200 miles? Maybe you heard of a concert on the radio. 500 miles? You're visiting something. Grand Canyon, Mount Rushmore. Everything was 5 to 10 miles from you, maybe in the country, 25, 30 miles from you. You didn't give a damn what happened on the other side of the world unless the United States got involved in a war, and here we are in Vietnam or Cuba or whatever other shit we've been involved in that ended up on the world news. And they took time to sit down and discuss with leaders what was happening and ask questions and get responses. And when I say ask questions, I'm not talking conversation-directed questions. It's so you have a policy on what we should be doing in Vietnam. How is it you were telling us you felt about the Vietnam War? And that person would answer in their own words, not... Most people hate the Vietnam War, and we understand it's an atrocity to mankind where a lot of people are going to fight and die. Why are you carrying on the mission of the Vietnam War? Whoa, wait, what? What? No, I'm not running the mission. I'm following orders. What do you mean? You're misrepresenting the story. How are we misrepresenting that you're sending troops over to die daily? This is what's going on. Wait, I just went way off topic. Why does anybody care? I'm not going, this is what's going on. I'm going, why does anybody care? I don't know why things that aren't closer to us aren't the most important, and the things farther away are just nominal issues that we understand or that we heard about. Honestly, don't take this wrong, but where did Natja go? I really don't care what happens in your political world on a high regard, though I do want a basic understanding of how it works for me to be able to make a represented comparison in my mind. If there's something about your government, or the Australian government if you are not still here, that runs or operates better or smoother, why shouldn't we be able to understand that and use that to our advantage, and then focus in on that piece of information as opposed to the whole thing? No, people who fly from Australia, once they land on our soil, they're automatically citizens of the country they land in. Bullshit. I no. And this is why is the issues thousands of miles away are so important to people that have nothing to do with them, that, oh, well, I'm a human and Mexicans are humans, so Mexicans have every right to cross whatever land they want and be in my country because I'm a human and humans are allowed here. Whoa. Whoever said humans weren't allowed in America? What? Well, you're calling them alien because they're foreign. Well, that's what the hell? I turned off the volume. Damn. But but everybody's human. They all have rights. Yes, but they're not legal in America. Well, people can't be illegal. That's where that argument comes in. Foreign transitory? I don't know even what the fuck to call them. This is not my job. I'm just saying, for the most part, most people shouldn't care until it affects them. Now, in the last 7 seconds, yes, this all affects them, because too many people trying to compete for the same jobs means those who are willing to compete for the lower amount are going to get those jobs, which keeps the competition low. Everybody's trying to earn a buck. And ladies and gentlemen, don't necessarily leave yet, because a couple minutes of chatting doesn't hurt. That is the show for today. Remember, take the topics and the questions and start your own conversations. I would really like to and see it. 2,000 miles nuclear arms, 10,000 miles terrorist, not running any missions, not following any orders. This is just what's happening. I care about the Constitution of humanity, continuation of humanity. Give me the key. Now you step foot in another country's soil, you're a visitor. You're more or less an ambassador of your country, but that's their land with their laws. Well, here's a question. Psychofire, what I do is I run the show for an hour. It is, and I guess this will be my advertisement. This is The Great Debate. It is run on Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 1 hour. Wednesday and Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, also for 1 hour. But please come by on Saturday at 7 p.m. We are hosting The Great Debate. Myself and Data Wasteland I said that wrong. Myself and Data Wasteland will be hosting the Numbed Wasteland, where we try to take a more in-depth look into topics. And we're gonna look into something neither of us have heard of this week, so it should be a very interesting show. I'm trying to figure out how to prep something we don't know about. But I seem to do good. That would be, again, there it is, Saturday at 7 p.m. Also on my channel until we get data up and running. I appreciate it, Zach Longby. I'm glad you enjoy it. Psychofire, yes, the show is over. The game is only beginning because it's a conversation. We're just going to keep on talking. With that, I have this funky outro scene to send all of those who have seizures into a seizure. And if you don't have seizures, please make sure to slap one of the buttons in front of the flashing screen. Make my channel feel better on an odd basis that I look down and see what the numbers are. Remember, you can come back and leave comments and anything else. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. Here is some royalty-free music for you to enjoy on your way home. Thank you, and good night.